Welcome to the Get Real with King Arthur show. And we're going to team up today and talk about Halloween ghosts. With the Queen is here without her crown, and but she looks nice without the crown or with the crown.
Oh.
Anyway, I like it first when people correct me or respond. Tim C. Says that I was inaccurate in saying that Bertrand Russell was a logical positivist. Well, maybe I said it because he wrote a book called Logical Positivism, and we need to investigate it further. And so send me arguments, Tim C. and anyone else. Now, Queen Victoria, what day is Halloween this week?
I think on Friday, right? The 31st or the 30th?
Well, I was hoping you had that answer. It's one of the two anyway. In any case, I want to give some background on Halloween, and then we'll talk about current practices with the Queen Victoria here. Fear has usually been a part of the Halloween celebration. Leigh Hunt, the 18th century writer, who worked with Shelley, Byron, and John Keats, said that his children were going to be reared apart from stories of evil spirits or haunted or ghosts or anything. And he was going to supervise that education so that they wouldn't have those fears, worry about what's under the bed at night. So later on, guess what? The program flopped. The children were still afraid. They invented their own monsters. So this fear has always been part of childhood. Now, I recently read a novel where a very young boy slept by himself in the bedroom and was afraid and crying, and his dad came up to comfort him, and he was afraid of what was under the bed and in the closet, and says his father lit matches and went around the room to see there's no bad people here. In any case, I was thinking about myself. I don't think as a child I had that experience because I always slept with my older brother, 2 years older, Stephen. Victoria, did you have to sleep in the bedroom by yourself when a little tiny kid?
No, I shared a room with my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you probably weren't that scared because he was there.
Well, when I got my own room, I got scared. I would get nightmares and things like that. Yeah.
We have nightmares, yes. I always worry that someone's breaking in the house. Oh, terrible. I'm trying to push the person out and whatnot. Anyway, they say that Halloween's a very amorphous holiday. That means it takes many shapes, it's had a long history and whatnot. They say that there were some origins both with the Celts and in Africa. The Celts, well, first I should say, both the Celts and Africans believed that the end of October and the 1st of November is a time when the world of sight meets the extra paranormal world, the extra world, spiritual world, and that spirits, both good and bad, are released at that time. So the Celts carved their pumpkins. It's kind of a harvest celebration with they carved those eagles' face in the pumpkin to scare off the demons. And in Africa, they made mass so that the evil spirits would get confused and not attack them. So, the next time we kind of run into Halloween, the pilgrims did not celebrate it. But the next time we run into it, it says the witches, which were tried and hanged in Salem, Massachusetts in the 17th century. Arthur Miller wrote The Crucible about not only that terrible happening, but the reaction of horror to people after that was done. And so, not much talk about witches or anything. We had enough of that. When I grew up in the 30s, we were in a time when the occult was kind of a joke. It was a time when everything, in my experience, was, anything supernatural was kind of childish. And we're in the age of science and things we can prove and we can measure. So, in the 3rd grade, I dressed as a witch. I won the prize because the teachers couldn't figure out who in the world was behind that costume. Now, my mother, who was very religious, she wouldn't let us say gosh and golly because it's kind of like a bad, like using the name of the god in vain. Were you allowed, Victoria, to use gosh and golly?
I don't think we ever said anything like that, no.
They didn't worry about that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I dressed as a witch. Now, I'll tell you right here and now, if I had a child, I would not let that child dress like a witch or fool around with that. Now, my brother Stephen, we were getting ready for a costume party on Halloween, and he invited a neighborhood kid who was not a member of the church at all. And he showed up with a brilliant red costume with horns and a tail and represented himself as Satan himself. Now, fortunately, the adults just ignored the thing, let it pass. But treating things like demons and ghosts and evil spirits and whatnot was a joke. It's no longer a joke. Because many people now proclaim themselves as witches. And we have people who worship Lucifer. We have a great host of people who are involved in the occult. And so we are now, there's a change in sentiment. And we have a movie on demon possession. What's the movie
Exorcism?
called? Yes, and there are other movies, and it's common now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no longer a joke. And so we come then to the issue of this amorphous celebration. The Roman Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church thought we'd change that holiday and make it a Christian one. And so they called it All Saints' Day, where we celebrate, they have saints during the year where they celebrate various saints, and they had all saints, the rest of the saints, to celebrate. And so it's all positive, you're celebrating, you look forward to the saints. There's no fear at all. Mm-hmm. And it's a Christian celebration. Now, there are many people who would subscribe to what Alexander Pope said in a poem, I think the Queen will subscribe to this. Vice is a monster of so hateful mien as to be hated needs merely to be seen. But seen oft, grown familiar with its face, we first endure, then pity, and then embrace. So, a number of Christians feel that the holiday is so tainted with the paranormal, and especially with demonic forces and beings. Now, on the other side, Samuel Johnson, great Christian, by the way, said that he was in favor of all public entertainment in which there was no obvious evil. So he would say, well, if there's no obvious evil in the celebration, then it's innocent. And he said it's good, public celebration of events and holidays. Now, the Queen, I think, is going to take a position different from mine. I don't know why she doesn't always agree with me, but I think she has a few things, observations on how celebrating Halloween.
Uh-huh. I'm listening.
Yeah, that's you. What do you... Speak, Queen Victoria.
So the question is, do I think we should celebrate Halloween?
Yeah, I guess. At all. You're saying we shouldn't celebrate it at all?
I think it's a personal decision. I think for me specifically, I don't celebrate Halloween. I have in the past, but I don't think that God is leading me in that direction anymore.
Did you feel it had a sinister influence on you?
Sinister influence? I don't think it had a positive influence on me. I don't think Halloween... Well, for me, Halloween has never been a big holiday, first of all. Secondly, I don't think necessarily anything great happens on Halloween.
Well, you know, traditionally, there was always a little mischief on holiday. I must confess that when I was in the 6th grade, we went out trick-or-treating, and we did trick. They weren't there. We soaped the windows, decorated the tree with toilet paper, tipped over outhouses in the country.
Wow.
And in Detroit, the night before Halloween night, they had Devil's Night and burned down many, many houses in Detroit. So we did some tricking. Now today it's trick or treat. I shouldn't make fun of it, should I? But anyway, there's no tricks involved, and
right.
So it's all perfectly nice and whatnot. But we had a little devil tree in us that we were able to express at Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, I don't know, if you go back to the history of what, witchcraft associated with Halloween, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather be safe than sorry, for me.
No, I am not completely insensitive here. I absolutely am opposed to Ouija boards.
Well, that's direct witchcraft.
And I am opposed to seances. Now, some people disagree, but I don't. In the Ouija boards, you open yourselves up to who knows what. I had, when I was teaching in Idaho, 3 of the very fine students, female in the dorm, got a Ouija board. And they were having great fun with it. They said it has quite a personality. And they were very intrigued with it. And they would ask it questions.
Oh.
And so they asked this question: what do you think of Nazarene preachers?
Oh, that's a good one. What did it say?
The Ouija board says, I don't like them.
Oh.
And they said, why don't you like them? They love Jesus. Now that is not diction of college students.
Right, right.
Not at all. I know I grade on thousands of writing of college students. That is not their diction. Well, they took the Ouija board and threw it in Lake Lowell. And they, anyway, I suppose, I don't know, opening it up.
I have a story.
Oh.
Yeah. I never did it. I never did the Ouija board. But my mom, she did it when she was very little. And she said that at night, the night that they did it, she went to bed. And when she went to bed, she felt like someone tickling her feet. Yeah.
So anyway, maybe I don't care whether people say I'm too strict or not strict enough. But I think I don't like to take away fun from kids, but if it really does influence them towards evil, or you think it does not pleasing to God, I'm with you. But
I don't know. I don't know how I would do it with if I had kids. I'm not sure how I would go about that yet. But I know that for myself right now, I know that it's not something that I'm willing to celebrate personally. But yeah, I mean, I don't judge anyone for celebrating. It's a personal walk with God. If you feel like the Holy Spirit allows you to do that, then I don't have anything I can say to that, but for me personally.
What do you think of the fact that more money is spent on Christmas than on any other holiday? The next in line is Halloween.
What do I think?
What do you think about that?
I think that's really interesting. I think it's so interesting. Yeah. I don't really know what to think of that, honestly. I think I think where we spend our money, it shows what we support, I don't really have anything to say about that, honestly.
Well, here's an issue in which Christians disagree, and you're welcome to send in comments and say we're crazy or fanatics or whatever you want to say. And we hope that Victoria will find her crown one of these days.
You're right.
Well, have a happy Halloween even if you don't celebrate Halloween.